Straight up, my favorite fight coming up this weekend. We have China's Song Yadong taking on the man himself, Julio Arce, a guy who's redefined himself at 135 pounds. And count me as one of the doubters. I didn't think he was going to be able to make weight successfully. I didn't know how the cardio was going to be able to fare. And he went out there and put on an absolute performance his last time out. And we know exactly what we're going to get out of Song Yadong. He's the guy that, does he wrestle? He can, but he's primarily a boxer. And for Julio Arce, does he fight like his teammate Shane Burgos? 9 times out of 10. Yeah, he does. He targets the body, throws nice leg kicks. He can do it up in the clinch. He has cardio for days. But again, I bring it all back to the fact that can he string it together for 3 rounds? And again, his last time out, he didn't need to. He ended up finishing a very durable Andre Ewell in that second round. So Matt, I'll throw it on over to you. I cannot contain my excitement in the away game for Craig Allen in these confines. Matt, I'm excited about the fight. What are you saying?
This fight should be higher up on the card. It really should. Like, this is my co-main event. Hashtag my co-main event. That's what Song Yadong Julio Arce is. Because these are not only ranked fighters, these are just 2 really well-rounded fighters. And no matter where this fight ends up, it's going to be really entertaining because we know Song can go for his own offensive takedowns. We know how good his overall just MMA game is, really. And the same thing can be said for Julio Arce. But, of course, this fight is probably going to be contested on the feet. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. I think Julio Arce has improved his striking like few other fighters have in the UFC, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I really do think Julio Arce has made massive improvements between his first UFC fight and now, and it has been a lot due to his striking. It's not just that he seems a little bit faster, he seems a little bit more powerful. He's just kind of cleaned up his technique across the board. It's just, there's less movement in everything he does, so it allows him to get from point A to point B a lot faster, and that's something that's really hard to improve on. It's like, again, you know football better than me, so if I'm speaking out of terms, please let me know. But like Josh Allen improved his accuracy, and that's something they say quarterbacks have a really hard time doing. But he was able to improve his accuracy.
Jaguars and didn't even get close to covering the point spread.
Sure.
You asked, you got the answer.
This is the thing about Julio Arce, though. I just asked if that was a good comparison, though, but it seemed like it was. With Arce, he has been able to make up those improvements, but the big thing that I see in this fight being an issue for him is he's not going to be able to out-jab Song Yadong at range, and I don't know how he's going to get on the inside of Song Yadong's punching power and his punching ability, because with Song, you can't stand on the outside. He is one of the most dangerous boxers in this division, and he's really, really accurate. There's not a lot of wasted shots from him. His stand-up is kind of Petr Yan-ish. I know people are going to say that's blasphemy because he's like the best boxer in the UFC probably, but just offensively, there are some similarities. Like, Song can be really patient. He can really let himself go when he decides to be aggressive. The difference, though, is Song can't do defensively what Petr Yan can do in the cage. I guess I'll give it to you. How do you see Julio Arce winning moments at range? Of course, he's the better kicker in this fight, but do you think he can just put up the sheer numbers he's going to need to against a guy like Song who is so precise?
It's going to have to be a lot of feints, and it's one of those things I kind of joked about it in the last couple of weeks. Who was it? Dustin Jacoby, when he's fighting last weekend. He's throwing that hand out there. It's the simple little misdirections. Kamaru Usman faking the takedown. Phil Hawes faking the takedown until things just hit the fan. But I like the misdirection. I like the feints for a guy like that training under Tiger Schulman, having the Riveras and the Burgoses, BKFC zone, Jimmy Rivera, you know him, right? But having guys like that to train with to get ready for a fight like this, it's perfect. For Song Yadong, having a guy like Cody Garbrandt, perfect to get ready for a fight like this. That's Song's last Instagram post. But a Team Alpha Male, we know the cast and characters, the Chad Mendez's, BKFC Zone, Darren Elkins, so on and so forth. So many good guys out there. Matt, I just want to throw this one out there quick before we focus odds, before we break down the tail end of the fight. For Song Yadong, 2 years, almost 2 years and a half, he fought Turbo Alejandro Perez. It's crazy to think that he's a couple weeks shy of his 24th birthday and he had that fight. And for Arce, it's just been a slow burn. He came into the UFC in 2018. He had a fun fight against Dan Ige. I was there for their debuts. That was a lot of fun. But then since then, he beats Daniel Tamor by submission. He loses to Shimon Moraes by split decision. He finishes Julian Rosa. He loses a split decision to Akeem Dawodu. And he beats Andre Ewell down a weight class at 135. This seems like the future home. This is like that heel turn for Jose Aldo too. We're moving down to 135 where all the big boys play, like the small guys play. I don't know what to say. But the craziest thing for him is He just turned 32 himself. So it's crazy to see the age gap between these two guys, but the skills that they both possess at the same time. So I'm going to bring up the odds for this one. I'll have a look at best fight odds for Arce. He is the underdog. He opened a plus 105. He's a plus 117. Yadong opened a minus 125. Went down as far as a minus 155. He's a minus 142 right now. Tapology votes in this one, 883 of them. 84% Song Yadong, 79% by decision. For the 16% that have Arce, 63% by decision. Matt, I'm going to hand it off to you on this one. For Song Yadong to be a slight favorite in this fight, I'm surprised to see so many people on Tapology picking him to win. That doesn't normally correlate.
I'm going to flip it around. I'm surprised the odds are so close in this fight, to be completely honest. Wow. I get Julio Arce is that fight of the night kind of a guy. He could put on a really good performance against pretty much anybody. But Julio Arce needs a fight to be ugly for him to really succeed. And even in those ugly fights, like I always go back to the Shimon Moraes fight. He gets dropped hard by Shimon in that a couple of times. And I don't think Shimon's anywhere near the striker Song Yadong is, especially not at this moment for Song Yadong. So I'm going to pick Yadong in this matchup. I think he's the much cleaner striker on the feet. And this is the thing about Song Yadong. He makes his power shots count. He's not somebody like Jan Blachowicz is who we brought up when he lost to Glover. Like, he was throwing big uppercuts on his back foot. And when you throw techniques like that, they leave you open to be countered. Song doesn't get countered very much on the feet. He's the one doing the countering, even if he's leading the dance. So I think for as long as this is on the feet, and I do expect it to primarily be contested there, I like Song Yadong in this matchup.
It is a tricky fight. I mean, for Yadong, he's got a performance of the night bonus over Barak Kandari, who, listen, there's always rumors because that guy's still in the USADA testing pool that he might make a comeback. Performance win over Felipe Arantes. He's got a performance win over Turbo. He's got a fight of the night against Marlon Vera that he won.
Who fights a lot like Julio Arce.
That one ages like wine. And then you focus on it. I mean, what could we take away for negatives? Kyler Phillips was able to hold him down. Cody Stamen was able to hold him down. Again, that was a really close fight. Say what
then
you will about it.
He beat the brakes off Casey Kenny, though, who's a pretty good wrestler.
He didn't beat that. That was a split decision win.
It wasn't really split, though. I thought he won 2 of the 3 quite soundly. But it just, if you're concerned about Song Yadong's wrestling, that shows that he can defend takedowns from a high-level wrestler. If you're concerned about his volume striking, look at the Marlon Vera fight. That shows that he can volume strike with another primary striker. I'm just saying, he has some performances in the UFC that really do set him up for this kind of a matchup.
I have Song Yadong in this fight. A little bit surprised by those Tapology votes. But again, I want to hear from everybody down below in the comment section on this one because Julio Arce is a very, very good striker. I've been high on him since he's come into the UFC. Maybe there's a little bit of that shine from being there as a fan live for that first card before becoming a media member. But Matt, yeah, both of us going with Man Training at Team Alpha Male. Let us know down below who you have, not just in this fight, but in the rest of them. And Matt, up at the top of the card, big time fight feels. Max Holloway taking on Yair Rodriguez. Keep it locked in with Fight Night picks. And as we always say, let's get into it.